Saxon Math for 6th grade. Today we're working on lesson number 59, integers on a number line, and we're also going to be talking about absolute value. We're going to be using our integers and absolute value to help us solve some problems. So quick review. Things you already know. Counting numbers. When you start counting, you start at 1. Counting numbers start at 1. And then their whole values. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whole numbers start at 0, and then their whole values as well. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so on. Integers are both the whole numbers and their opposites, which means the negative whole numbers. So, which we wouldn't call them negative whole numbers, but the whole values on the negative side of the line as well. So, from infinity counting up to negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, and including 1, 2, 3, etc. Notice what's not here. No fractions, no decimals, only whole values. So as soon as you see a fraction or a decimal, you know that that's not going to be a counting number, a whole number, or what we're talking about today, integers. When we work with integers, we're going to pay particular attention to the positive and negative ones. Those are called signed values. These ones we don't draw the positive sign, but we know that they have a positive value. These ones we do draw in the negatives. They're negative integers. Absolute value, this is the thing that may be new, is the distance from 0. It looks a lot, it's got a quick trick to it. Absolute value is written as 2 slashes, and we write the number in the middle. So this would be read the absolute value of 3. Okay, so if absolute value is the distance from 0, the absolute value of 3 would be the distance that 3 is from 0. So here's 0. How far is 3? 1, 2, 3. It's 3 away. The absolute value of 3 is 3. What about negative 3? The absolute value of negative 3. So if absolute value is the distance from 0, how far is negative 3 from 0? Well, here's 0. Let's go to negative 3. 1, 2, 3. It's 3 places away as well. A trick when you're doing absolute value, because the distance from 0 doesn't really matter whether you're positive or negative, the absolute value is always going to be a positive number. So if we're on the positive side, if we're at 4 or 5, the absolute value would be 4 or 5. If we're on the negative side, if we had negative 4 or negative 5, the absolute value would still be 4 or 5. Because it's the distance from 0, it will always be written as a positive number. We can use that to solve problems. Here's something you might see. The absolute value of 3 minus 5. When you see something like this, don't start taking absolute values to begin with. Solve the problem in the middle. Then when you have an answer, take the absolute value. So I have 3, take away 5. 3 take away 5 is 2, negative 2. Then I want to keep my absolute value because I haven't done that yet. So the absolute value of 3 minus 5 is the same as the absolute value of negative 2. And the absolute value of negative 2 is just 2. Because negative 2 is 2 places from 0. The absolute value of something is the same as just writing it as a positive number. Let's look here. Here I'm adding and subtracting integers. When you do this, you need to think about which way we're moving. Positive numbers, or when you're adding, go in a positive direction, which is that way. Negative numbers, or when you're subtracting, go in a negative direction, which is this direction. So let's see here. Negative 2 plus 5 minus 4. You'll have some problems where you're asked to draw it on a number line. So I drew it out, and we can look at it together. Always start at 0. We'll wait for just a second. So we start at 0, and we're going to move negative 2. So start at 0, go negative 2. 1, 2. Good. Make sense so far? Okay. Then we're going to go positive. Positive is that way. 5. Well, I'm here at negative 2, so we can start there. I'm going to go positive 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That took me all the way up to positive 3. Plus 5. We're good. Okay. Now negative again, because we're subtracting. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. My final answer ends right here, which is -1. When you're asked to solve absolute value questions, solve the problem inside, then take the absolute value. When you're adding and subtracting multiple integers, and they ask you to draw it on a number line, this is what they want you to do. Draw each step. And wherever your arrow ends up, that is your final answer.